Hey everybody, today I'm here with my first fragrance review ever, which I am super excited for. I have been waiting a long time to give you guys a review and start up a channel. The only reason I have not started a channel is because it is very important to me and I do not want to screw this up. So I tried to do as much research on starting a YouTube channel as I possibly could, but I don't want to be, gimmicky. I just want to connect with my viewers and people that are just generally as enthusiastic about fragrances as I am. So the first fragrance that I'm going to do a review on is my favorite designer fragrance. So this is a huge one for me. So it is Polo Red Intense. I've had this one in my collection for over several bottles, probably 4 years, and it's a it's an amazing fragrance. It's one of those ones that it just smells so good. But I'm gonna go down the note breakdown. I'm gonna give you everything here, and I'm gonna rate everything a 10 out of 10 for smell, and a 5 out of 5 for appearance, and then we're gonna go a 10 out of 10 for the longevity. Those are gonna be the major things I'm gonna review things on. I don't think that the look of the bottle is really that important. In your collection, it looks nice, and if you have a really nice collection, then it can throw things off if you have a really weird bottle in the middle of it. But, whatever. That's not such a big deal. I'm not going to take too much stock in it. So, Polo Red Intense. It is... Let me go back and smell it again. Like I said, I've had this one for a long time. I can pretty much tell you the stuff off the top of my head. We are going to have a obnoxious amount of fruit. And not in a bad way. I don't mean obnoxious like, crazy. I mean obnoxious like it just smells so good. I love the fruits off the top of this. So here's the dry down. I have it on this hand, and this is going to be the opening. The opening is just, to me, it smells like rhubarb. And rhubarb is one of my absolute favorite notes in any fragrance. I don't know if that's actually a note in this fragrance, but that's what it comes off to me. All of them blending together gives me a very rhubarby, almost like if I had to give an example, almost like a strawberry rhubarb, like a strawberry rhubarb pie, which I don't know how many people around would be consuming a strawberry rhubarb pie, but this is what I would consider it if it was a fragrance. It just smells amazing. I've had it for so long that I can tell you right now, I've gotten probably more compliments with this than almost any other fragrance in my collection, just because of how much I wear it. I'm not saying it's the best in my collection, it's just one of my favorite designers. So, little backstory on me, I have had probably 200 fragrances in my collection through over the years. I've traded some, I've bought some, I've given some to friends, some to my dad, lots to my dad. I have a story about my dad one of these times with videos. I'm going to do a kind of a backstory with some backstory about me. But yeah, Polo Red Intense is, if you are new to fragrances and you are looking for a really good designer and everyday wear, something you can wear in summer, spring, winter, fall, whole shebang, I would definitely shoot for Polo Red Intense. I'm not going to tell anyone to buy anything, and definitely don't blind buy anything. Get a sample if you can. Most people on the fragrance Facebook forums and things like that, they almost always have these, a bottle of this. You might even be able to find a bottle of this to swap. So at least that way it's not a blind buy. You're not wasting money. You'd be trading your fragrance. And if you have any freshie in your collection, almost any, as long as it's not like a niche or something like that, any designer fragrance that's a freshie, I would swap it. I would swap it any day. I'm going to buy back a bottle of this. I don't want them to ever discontinue it and me not to have a bottle. So that just goes to show. And I bought this retail when it first came out, and I was a broke, I think I was 20. I was a broke guy. I didn't have any cash to be spending on fragrances, but I still did. So, and we all know that. If you're in the fragrance community at all, you probably spend some money on some fragrances. But Polo Red Intense has a very fruity opening. In the note breakdown, leather is in there. I don't get a bunch of that. If you smell it and you do get some of that, then we have different skin chemistry, and I know that for a fact it's true. I have a couple buddies of mine, I spray them down with stuff. they can't stand me, but I spray them down with stuff just to try to see how it smells in the air, and I did that on this one. And one of my other buddies, he wore this, and it did have a little bit of leather off of his skin. Not much. I mean, it was still extremely fruity, extremely fruity. That ginger was a little bit different off of his skin too. The ginger popped off more on his skin, but on mine, it is just fruit all day, like that strawberry rhubarb, like tanginess with it still super, super fresh. This dry down here is a little bit smoother. The opening is, boom, it is right in your face. It is very much fruity. And even if you spray this on, and I'll give that as an example too, even if you spray this on and you went somewhere immediately, like you went out to the car and your girlfriend was in there, she's not going to hate you. She's going to like it. She's going to like that smell. I've never had my girlfriend give any complaints about overspraying on this. And I would give this one probably a 4 or 5 sprays. 4 is probably good, but 5 if you are going to be gone for a long time. But the ginger in here, I don't pick it up too much, but I'm thinking that's probably when I'm getting that tanginess, that pop that's mixing with the fruits. And I know that they say it's like an oriental spicy, and it's probably true. I mean, there's probably some truth to that. It is pretty spicy. I mean, there's some black pepper in there. You're definitely going to pick that up. The opening is all fruits, and that's going to be fruits. Like that mid-range, you're probably going to pick up a little bit more of the pepper. And that ginger is going to start to settle down and not be so aggressive or so front forward. And then on the dry down, I pick up a little bit of that leather, which I think is what's really going to smooth it out. It's start to give that round off all the edges. So, and that's a big deal to me. And I think fragrances need that. And that's what I think a lot of designers do wrong. They forget to smooth it out. They forget to, it's all spike the whole way through. And when people smell it, and that's one of my biggest negatives about Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. That one, I had that one in my collection probably like 3 years back, and I thought that one was just all spike. It was all just very strong, and I liked it. I still wore it, and I'd probably pick up another bottle eventually too. But I just think that you got to have that roundedness to these fragrances. It makes you want to wear it, and it makes people want to get close to you when you're wearing it. A story behind this one is I wore it to a campfire once, and I've worn it to campfires actually a lot of times, and I had a bunch of my friends around, and they had complimented me when I got out of the car, like, "Oh man, you smell great, like what are you wearing?" And then I got up to the campfire, and that mixed with that smoke, I tell you what, this mixed with a campfire, holy, that's a different game right there. It was an amazing smell. I wanted to, my clothes smelled like smoke in this. I mean, if they ever make a fragrance, another one, I just know they came out with the extreme version, which I do have that. I might do a review on that next. If they make another one and they add some smoke to this, whew, that might be a all day, every day type of banger. But I wanted to do some reviews for you guys. I'm new to the game, so, and don't go easy on me. And if you're gonna go down in the comments and leave any comments, don't go easy on me. I really want to get better at this because this has been a long time thing for me. My setup, this won't be a long time thing. I'm buying a house right now, so everything is in boxes, and I'm still in my apartment. Got weird shades. I don't even know where those came from. But everything is going to get way better on this channel. I'm going to do way more reviews so you guys can check some stuff out. I think that Polo Red Intense is definitely a fragrance that people just sleep on constantly, and that's why I'm mentioning it here. I want to have, my one standout in my collection that people don't really talk about that much, and this would be it. For me, I would give it, for the scent itself, is most definitely a 9.5 out of 10, and that I'm partial because I've had it for so long and I love it so much. But I mean, it's amazing, and I would give it a 10. I seriously would. That's no joke. I would give it a 10, but I have to work up to something. Eventually I'm going to smell a 10, and I'm going to really regret giving this a 10. So 9.5 for smell, and I'm going to give it a 5. Not a 5. My apologies. I'm going to give it a 2 on the presentation. They literally just took their old bottles and they put a little bit of something else. Actually, that's my biggest qualm with Polo, with Ralph Lauren. It's just the bottles are just dumb. I mean, make some different ones. I know they do make, I think they make a couple other different bottles, but this is, I get it. you have one thing, you just want to keep putting stuff in this, it's probably cheap to manufacture, but make some new stuff. We would love to see it. In the fragrance community, if they came out with a new bottle, I mean, there'd be people buy it just for the new bottle. And the actual longevity, that's going to be one of the things where I'd say I'd probably give it a 6.5 on the longevity. It's really nice. I sprayed this dry down probably an hour before I started doing this, and I can still smell it like this far away, easy. And if I wave it in the air, it just clouds the whole room. And the opening, again, that's doing the same thing. So, and feel free to comment down below of fragrances that you want me to review, and I'm going to do my absolute very best to, get those. I mean, if we end up, which first of all, this is my first video, so I'm not gonna go crazy, but if we had like 100 people or more request one fragrance, as long as it's not niche and it's like $400 or some shit like that, as long as it's, with a reasonable price, I'll buy it. I'll do a review on it. I might even have it. I really don't know. You might even request something that's, already in my collection. And I really appreciate you guys coming out and spending, so far 11 minutes with me and watching this video. It's huge to me. This is going to be a long-term thing. So feel free to subscribe, especially if you're interested in fragrances and you want to have a review a little bit different. I don't plan on doing these the same all the time. I have a lot of ideas racked up in my little book, but I'm here for you guys. I'm here to review, to make it so you make smart decisions with buying fragrances. Because when I first got into reviewing fragrances, I did not do that. I made the exact opposite of good decisions, and I was spending most of my paychecks on fragrances. Granted, at that point I was a teenager and I didn't have anything else to spend my money on besides like gas. So that's pretty much the review. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by and taking a peek at it, and I hope you got something out of it. And if you didn't, give me a big thumbs down and I'll learn from it. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm not going to push that on you. I don't have enough videos to be subscribing right now, but if you want to, please do. I always appreciate it. I do videos for work too. That's the only reason I know how to do any of this stuff. But that's everything. I really enjoyed seeing you guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing me, and have a nice day.